All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whenever you're listening to this. It's not Wednesday. I'm so used to these Wednesday shows. It's Thursday with my man, Big Marley. A little earlier than usual because, as you see his hat down below, big Game 6 for the Pacers taking on OKC. If you are watching this live, first of all, a shout out to y'all. Hey, if you're not in the NBA streets, I know prizes, contests are filling quick. NBA Showdown, Slate Plan, Rio, best in the business, that most definitely always has a long, lengthy article. He puts his favorite captains, flex, how he sees the game going, how he's going to tackle it. So definitely check that out. We're here talking some fights, 12 fights on this fight night in Baku. I have no clue how to pronounce whatever country we're in. What I do know is we're overseas, 12 p.m. Eastern. My time is 9 a.m. on the mountain time. So make sure you set your alarm. If you sleep in, 12 fights. I like morning violence. After that, you can do what you want. Big Marley, how you feeling on this card? How we doing?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. I love a good noon card. Get a workout in early, straight to the fights, and then you can even have a night afterwards, hopefully to celebrate. But not a terrible card. I'm not the best one either, but I think DFS is what's making me more interested in it. I think there's a lot of ways we can go this week. There's ways I can get unchalky, and then there's a couple chalk guys that I am planning on eating as well. But looking forward to talking it out with you.
Yeah, I agree. I love the morning fights. I'll go hit the sauna quick. I doubt I do too much after that, but get a little sweat in before the sweat for the money. So it'll be a good morning. Over here, little neck in here. Ben, Kim. Ooh, my bad, Kim. Mike, Marquis, Derek, Jake, YSN. I am Rice. What is going on? Brian in here as well. Appreciate everyone. Look at that. I got that noon violence, then a date with the girl. That's what I like to see, Derek. I'm doing something similar. We're going to go out to dinner, maybe go to the farmer's market, do something as well. So best of both worlds right there. Guy, there you go. Got the kids on the iPad, ready to take down some MMA. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Appreciate the words. And again, all we ask, like button, subscribe button, helps us out a ton. I know many watching on playback. Just do us a favor right now. It takes 2 seconds out of your day. The thumbs up helps us out a ton. If you have any hot takes, any underdogs you like this week, drop in the YouTube comments. I enjoy looking at it below. Broad slate overview. Dogs aren't great. We have a decent amount of big favorites. We only have 3 mid-tier fights. One is the main event, and it's a straight pick'em right now. Jamal Hill has taken some money recently. So this fight, Rountree Hill, going to be heavily owned. Another really good mid-tier fight, Oralbai Musayev, 8,500, 7,700, Clash of Styles. That fight's expected to finish. Those 2 fights going to be popular in the mid-tier. And then after that, people are going to go stars and scrubs is how I see it. Again, I think ownership relatively spread out. Looking at our initial ownership, and again, this is all posted on Friday. Yeah, no one above. Hold on, let me make sure I have it up. We have right now no one projected above 50%. I always love to see that. So fingers crossed we keep all 12 fights. If so, I think you could see a 10 dupe, 8 dupe, 14 dupe card, and I would definitely be totally fine with that, being on that train. Any broad slate overview for you before we go fight by fight?
Now, main event is by far my favorite fight to target. If I'm going to be anywhere near all into a fight, it'll be that one. And then the other ones I could just sprinkle here and there. There's no clear full fight fades for me, but there's a few fighters I do plan on fading, and hopefully I can hit the nuts.
Yeah, I mean, last week's card was pathetic. I mean, Big Marley was there, but, I mean, come on, Mansoor. Then the Bellado shenanigans going. I mean, it was one of the craziest things. Wellmaker, that man's got a right hook for days, though. We know that. Anything you want to say? You were in attendance, or you don't want to? You want to forget about that card and move on?
I mean, I guess if fights are gonna suck, it's better to watch them from a suite drinking free drinks and eating free food. But no, it was a terrible card, but I still had a good time.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, Brian, when we go through, let me know some of your dogs. I'm struggling personally over here, but no time to waste. Bottom to top, like always. First fight of the night. Man, this is a slate might as well start at 9:20 Eastern. Hey, if you get your lineups in the night before, or 12:20 Eastern, then if you get your lineups in the night before, you want to sleep in a little bit, I won't blame anyone for missing this first fight. Hamdi Abdul-Wahab taking on Muhammad Usman. Minus 160 is Hamdi, plus 140 is Usman, plus 170 for this fight to finish. Hamdi plus 325 inside the distance. Usman plus 375. I'm on Brian's side. I am fading Hamdi in 20 and below. 8,600. You need to get some real scores at that price tag. Give me Park for more expensive. Give me Alex Siva. Give me Mullins. Give me Naimov. Give me Oralby. Give me Rountree. Give me Hill. Give me pretty much everyone in the card in that price range. 20 teams or less. I am not clicking Hamdi's name. I'm seriously debating fully fading Usman too. What I keep coming back to is 60 enough? Possibly at 7,600. If 11 favorites win and Usman's the only dog, is that enough? I don't know, possibly. So I think for that reason, he's going to stay in the pool. I'm going to cap his exposure, though. I see this as a boring pillow fight. Couple strikes landed here and there. My question to you, though, can Hamdi wrestle in this one? He has a wrestling background. I doubt Usman wrestles, but that's the only path I see to this fight being optimal. I hate this fight. I will hardly have any. What are you doing?
I'm going to use a little bit of it. I don't love it, but I could see either guy putting up a decent score at low ownership. It's going to come down to the wrestling for sure, or they're big boys. Maybe we get a knockout as well. On the feet, we need the knockout because it's probably strike for strike on the feet. We really won't have a clue who's going to win, especially with the judges. I would slightly favor Usman in the striking department, but I favor Hamdi in the wrestling, and I do think that the line makes sense because of his wrestling advantage here. He's just going to have to wrestle for all 3 rounds and do some work on the ground. I think he's got 100-point potential, though, so I will be playing some of them. And then Usman really has the same upside, whereas he could wrestle Hamdi. It's just that he's not the better wrestler, so he's probably going to have to attempt more, stuff some takedowns of his own, but he could get a takedown or 2 of his own and add a couple points that way. But I feel like Usman's probably playing for like a 70 to 80, where Hamdi's playing for like a 80 to 100. So I prefer Hamdi slightly, but for 1,000 less, if I need to go Hamdi down to Usman to see what that does to the rest of my lineup, then I'm completely fine doing that. I'd be okay with either side in a single entry, but I'd probably try to get away from it if I could in the single entry. But I wouldn't be surprised if I'm overweight to both guys in MMA.
Hey, I very rarely, it seems, do we disagree on too many things. So I like it to start off the card. I'm definitely hoping this fight isn't optimal. I'm hardly gonna have any of it, but it is big bodies. They're gonna be pretty low owned. Random stuff can happen. I think Hamdi's bad. I think Usman's bad. When you get a couple bad fighters, sometimes one's just way worse and doesn't show up at all. Again, I'm gonna be playing over 20 teams more than likely this week, so I won't full fade. Like if I was doing 150, I would include all 24 fighters in my pool this week, which isn't the same. Isn't the case every week. This week it would be 20 teams or less, though. I am not going to play any Hamdi. We'll keep it rolling. Next fight on the card. The biggest favorite currently, actually second biggest by 5 cents. Tagir Ulanbekov minus 450 taking on Azat Maksum plus 350, plus 160 for this fight to finish. Ulanbekov plus 200 inside the distance. Maksum plus 700 inside the distance. Look at this. So Ulanbekov plus 200 inside the distance. Him by submission plus 240. Tagir's a wrestler. Asma came in as a wrestler too. But man, this dude, like that fight against Tyson Nam, garbage. The Charles Johnson fight, not very good. As a guy that wants to wrestle, this is a really bad matchup to take on Habib's boy. He's good. He's long. He knows body weight. Good trip takedowns. I mean, I think Tagir could go 3-4 takedowns, 12 minutes of control time. But with all that being said, is that enough? Because there was a fight against Nascimento. Let me get the exact thing. He had 3 takedowns. Where is it in this? Give me one sec.
4
I think it was
takedowns, a
3 takedowns,
reversal.
12. Yeah, was it 4 takedowns?
Yeah, against Nascimento, 4 takedowns and a reversal.
And 12 and a half minutes of control time in the decision and scored 93 DK points. 93 is probably not enough this week. Now, his 2 finish wins were 100 and 120. So I guess it comes down to, do you think he finishes? If you look at plus 200, that's 33%. And I'm looking right now at our projected ownership. Yeah, we have him less than 33%. Like, I think he could be like 23%, 24%. So just looking at his expected finish to his ownership, I think he's a fine play. Now, in a vacuum, gun to my head, when I'm ranking these top guys, he falls down the list a little bit. I prefer Sadikov, some other ones that way. So for me, Ulanbekov and chalk your lineups. I'm confident he wins. I'm not playing Maxim in 20 and below. What are you doing in this one?
Yeah, I think I'm going to avoid it for the most part. Maxim is fairly well-rounded, but it would be better for him to get the fight to the ground. It's just that Ulanbekov is better everywhere, I think. If the fight stays standing, Ulanbekov is probably the better striker, should be longer, a little bit more powerful, but I don't think he's going to score much at all on the feet. And I don't think he's going to wrestle enough to put up a big score in a decision. So we're kind of playing for the submission in my eyes. Don't hate him here, but I think I would rather just save money and go down to somebody lower and try and get different, maybe take it down solo instead. So I'll mostly avoid this fight, but Ulanbekov is the pick.
I'm in agreement. Again, I just think Ulanbekov's more of a pivot play up top and chalk your lineups. If you're playing the Rountree Hill fight, if you're playing the Oralby fight, if you're eating a lot of chalk, the Blades Cunha fight, like Ulanbekov is a way you can get different. Again, I think he will be one of the forgotten guys up above. But again, rightfully so. This fight is +1. It was +180 on Monday to finish. Now it is +160. So some money coming in on the under, which is interesting. And that is on the Ulanbekov side. But yeah, not my favorite fight right here. Next fight on the card, Irina Alexeyeva taking on Claudia Segula. Alexeyeva -275, Segula +235. -105 for this fight to finish. Alexeyeva +135 inside the distance. Segula +600. Take it away. What are you doing in this one?
I think this one's going to be mostly Alexeyeva or pass for me. I really think Segula's got one of the lowest ceilings on the card. Maybe she is live to win a striking match here and possibly score in the 60s or something like that, but I just don't see how she scores 90 plus, 85 plus, really. So I'm just going to fade her. And then Alexeyeva should have the grappling edge in this one. I mean, she's probably the better striker too, but for her to score well, I think she is live for a submission in any round. And if she gets it in the first round, she could make the optimal lineup. I actually prefer her to Ulanbekov at what I would expect to be a little bit lower ownership. It'd make me a little bit different. So I like Alexeyeva in this one. I think the sub is live here.
I like Alexeyeva more. I'm not convinced it's going to be lower owned. I think it'll be close. I think people are going to go to that range in the 400 savings, like the Naimov, the Alexeyeva, the Mullins. I do think people go that route. A lot, like I like Alexeyeva a good bit. A lot of that has to do with she's taking a lot of money on the inside the distance on the money line. So she opened +185 to finish, now +135. She opened +250 by sub, now +235. Like you said, her by KO, though, I do think she's better everywhere. Open +1200, now +600. She does throw power on the feet. It's not really technical. It's not great, but I just don't think the Segula girl is good. The easiest path is just take her down. These girls both lost to Melissa Mullins, who we'll talk about next fight. But Segula got finished in the second. Like, she had no answer when she was taken down. Alexeyeva at least went to decision, battled a little bit. Alexeyeva got the big upset win over Stephanie Egger in her debut, the knee bar, which was really, really weird. But if you're submitting Stephanie Egger, she definitely can submit Segula. So, yeah, the Russian Ronda, I think Alexeyeva is a very solid play. And like Oban Elliott, the most expensive fighter at 9,500, I'm fine dropping him to Alexeyeva and saving 600. That right there can get you off a lot of dupes. I think Alexeyeva has 100+ point upside. Her round 1 prop 2, open +500, now +400. So I'm going to be playing this range for sure. Alexeyeva, my preferred play. I'm going to play some Segula because Like I like her more than like those really big underdogs. And I mean, maybe just I don't think Alexieva is great. Maybe Segula could keep it on the feet, outstrike her 90 to 85, win a split decision, score 68. And to be honest, I'll take 68 on this card right now at 7,300. Will it be optimal? I don't know for sure. But if I knew she got it, I would be overweight on her like 12% or whatever she's going to come in at. But Alexieva still is my preferred play in this one. Before we do go to the next fight, I do want to mention, if you're not a member at SHIPIT Nation, there's absolutely no better time to get over and join. UFC 75 is the code. What does that all get you? So as you can see right here, SaberSim Core Package. You guys probably all know about SaberSim, the best optimizer around. Shout out to SaberSim, our partner. We load our projections and our ownership in there. The Core Package allows you to build 250 teams, see 150. And again, MMA, we talk about SaberSim all the time, looking at exposures. It is very important. SaberSim takes into consideration ownership, what contests you're playing, and helps you eliminate dupes. Less than $1 a day, you can get all of our content, and that's golf, MMA, MLB, PGA, or I already said that, NASCAR, etc., with SaberSim and access to the best Discord around. Again, for less than $1 a day, if you use the code UFC75, $99 takes it all the way down to $24 for your first month. We would love to have you at the Nation. Next fight on the card. See some people in chat talking about this one. Melissa Mullins minus 235, taking on Daria Zelensikova plus 200, minus 145 for this fight to finish. Mullins minus 110 inside the distance. Zelikova plus 625. This is a rematch, Big Marley, where it was a fun fight. Mullins got a late first round finish. Zelensikova was piecing her up on the feet early. Mullins got a takedown, ground and pound. It was over after that. I love this fight for DFS. One of my favorite on the card. At ownership, neither girl's getting a ton of ownership. Mullins, a wrestler. As you can see on the stone, 1.53 takedowns per 15. Daria is a striker. So we have a clash of styles. They've already fought, and it was clear. Daria was getting the better exchanges on the feet. Mullins, when it was on the mat, it was GG. If Mullins wins, she can put up a monster. Again, she's minus 110 to finish now. Open plus 110. She's plus 350 in round one. Money is coming in on the under for this fight to finish. Mullins has as much upside as anyone on the slate. Daria on the other side, though, if you look at these odds, you're just looking at the stone. I put these up Tuesday. It was minus 275 Mullins on Tuesday. Now she's minus 235. So Daria's been taking money, now at plus 200. And I still think the line's a little wide. I'm picking Daria at this number. If she stuffed takedowns, I think she wins the fight and she can piece her up. Does she do it? I don't know. But at plus 200 earlier in the week when I picked her at plus 235, and more importantly for DFS at 7,200, if I'm saying I'll take 65 in a win, again, I'm definitely interested then in Daria, who I'm picking to win the fight. So it's like if I had 60% Mullins and 30% Daria, I'm fine. If I had 40% Daria, 30% Mullins, I'm fine. I do want to get overweight on this fight. Again, minus 145 to finish. Really don't even know if I have a preferred side. I just want to play both and probably get overweight. What are you doing in this one?
I like it. Yeah, I have just moved it to a 4-star. I think you talked me into more Daria. She is much more live than Segula, in my opinion. So I would rather play her for $100 less. I think she's a better striker, and maybe she could put up decent volume or drop her along the way. But I picked Mullins because of the wrestling advantage. I think if anyone's going to score high in this fight, it's going to be Mullins. And I was planning on being overweight to her, underweight to Daria. But I think maybe going overweight to the fight as a whole isn't a bad idea in this one. I'll definitely play more Daria now than I would have 10 minutes ago. So hopefully this is one of the better fights on the card, but I got Mullins.
So I don't want to skip ahead too much, but like I take it you do prefer like Kuniev, Bogdan, Grad. Like you already said you like Segula more, like Nerdiev, but he's a little more expensive. Like who do you prefer more in that range down below?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't like Segula more. Down below 72, probably like Kuniev.
7,400 and below.
74. Grad and Kuniev would be the two I like more.
And I do think they're both higher owned as well.
More so for ceilings, though. I feel like just outright win equity. Daria's right there with both of them.
And that's exactly my, like, for sure upside, it's those two. But I'm picking Naimov. I'm picking Blades. I'm picking Daria. So in that aspect, I just think the more the years have went on, it's just in my mind, like, these women's MMA fights most of the time seem to be a lot closer than some of the men's fights. Like, again, you get more finishes in the men's fights. Judges are so bad nowadays. Like, who knows what they watch half the time. So, like, if any fight goes to decision and you think it's 29-28, it very well might be 30-27 on the other side. So I just feel like there's more outs to get lucky is how I look at it. So I think she has a striking advantage. And at the end of the day, as a plus 200 dog with an advantage, I'll take a shot at 7,200. I like it, though. All right, we'll keep it rolling. Next fight on the card, Jung Young Park taking on Ismail Nurdiev. Minus 185 Park, plus 160 is Nurdiev. Plus 105 for this fight to finish. Park plus 185 inside the distance. Nurdiev plus 400. Take it away. What do you like?
I kind of like the underdog in this one, but I do like both sides. This is another one where I might move it to a 4 because Park is a guy that does have a high ceiling. He'll push forward like a zombie on the feet, could even knock out Nurdiev if he's just, putting it on him. But Nurdiev is the better, more technical striker with more tools in his striking box, in my opinion. So Park for this one should look to wrestle. And when he does, he could chain wrestle and he could put up a big score. So I'm fine with some Park exposure, but I think this fight mainly plays out on the feet. And I think Nordiev's the better striker. Nurdiev also took a round from Sean Brady, who I think is better than Sean Park. He got kicked out of the UFC to work on his wrestling game. And I feel like he's probably done that as the younger guy with more more MMA experience. I think the underdog is very live here, and I'll be overweight to Nurdiev and maybe around the field or a little bit underweight to Park.
I'm with you. My preferred play is Nurdiev, and mainly has to do with just, again, I don't love too many underdogs. Great money line value for him. 4 plus 400 inside the distance is solid. And I think Park can wrestle in this one. I think he could win the striking battle. But again, he has to beat a lot of people in his range. Like, I prefer Oralby, Rountree, Naimov, Mullins, Alisiva. But with all that being said, I do think a lot of the field does as well. And when I play Park, it'll be in chalkier lineups, and that's a way to get different. I'm not looking to, like, drop down from Oban Elliott to Park and do it that way. I leave less money in Park lineups, but I'm eating more chalk, and he's my pivot right there. So, yeah, I'm with you. I like Nurdiev in this one as well. Keep it rolling. Next fight on the card, we have Oban Elliott taking on Suk Hoon Ko. Minus 455 is Elliott. Ko is plus 355. The biggest favorite on the card we are looking at right here. So I guess how much wrestling upside is there? Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Plus 170 for Elliott to finish. Plus 400 for Ko. So Ko is plus 350 money line, and he's plus 400 inside the distance. If he wins, it's almost surely a knockout is what the books are saying. How do you see Elliott approaching this fight? Is it a lot of wrestling? I think that's probably what we need at 9,500.
Yeah, I don't think it would be enough wrestling. I just see it being a full MMA fight from him. He'll see how he can do on the feet. And if he's cruising there, maybe he'll keep it there or land a takedown to really put a stamp on the round. But for me, this just looks like 15 minutes of UFC time for Elliott. He just looks better everywhere. But yeah, Ko could bring it, just get a little bit crazy, turn it into a brawl and clip him. Yeah, if he's not getting the knockout, I just don't know how he's winning minutes. Oban should be the better striker, should be the better wrestler. I just don't like his $9,500 price tag, especially if he's not going to finish. I doubt he lands more than like 3 or 4 takedowns here, because if he lands one, he probably gets to keep a lot of that control time without Ko getting up and then the return to the mat. So I'll be underweight to the fight as a whole. I'd be okay playing either one of them, but not a fight I'm looking to target.
Yeah, I wanted your take on this fight with the Elliott stuff. So I'm probably going to be underweight Elliott. Now that I say it. A lot of the reason is, again, I like Blades, I like Naimov, I like Mullins, I like Alisiva. You can even drop 200 from Elliott to Gear and get a little different. Like, I think I'm leaving money when I'm leaving money up top mainly to get different high 9Ks, mid 9Ks to high 8K, low 9K. I can easily see any of them outscoring Elliott that way. So I like it. I'll probably be underweight this fight. I do think Elliott's just better wherever the fight does go, though. Next fight on the card, another pretty good size favorites. Muhammad Naimov minus 270 taking on Bogdan Grad plus 230, minus 135 for this fight to finish, plus 150 inside the distance for Naimov, plus 315 inside the distance for Grad. Take this fight away. This one should be fun.
Yeah, Grad coming off a solid fight. He could put up a high pace. He was definitely losing the first round, and I was thinking I was gonna have an overweight stance to somebody that was low, and I was like, oh, we're looking good here, and then he just gets destroyed in the second round. But that was good to see for Grad. I think that this is another fight where he probably is just gonna get a little bit manhandled by Naimov. If Naimov wants to wrestle, I think he can wrestle in the first round. And I think he's also live to win a striking match in the first round too. Grad is hittable, even though he throws a lot of punches. But the longer this fight goes, I could see Grad just turning it into a crazy fight and then him picking up the pace as the fight moves along. I don't hate Grad exposure here. Maybe I'll have more of him than Naimov, actually, because I'm looking for underdogs on this card. He's live to win. He's also live to put up a big score as an underdog. I just think that Naimov's a little bit better everywhere, and if he can keep up the cardio in this fight, he should get his hand raised 29-28. Maybe he doesn't get it done on DraftKings, though, so I'll probably go underweight to him there, but definitely can't fade him because Grad is so hittable. He can be taken down, so Naimov has the potential to put up a big score. We're just going to need him to put it together for 3 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I did not like what I saw from Grad. He'll fight for my dollar, and he has big-time upside. He'll push a pace and be in a fun fight. But, like, Alexander lost himself that fight, in my opinion. He just completely gassed. He lost it more than Grad won it. I just don't see Naimov folding like that. I think he can fight for 15 minutes. And if Alexander could in that fight, like, Naimov can wrestle. Alexander's a striker. Grad's going to be one of the highest-owned underdogs. I think I'm going to have a good bit of Naimov. You get some leverage off of Grad. Again, I think Grad makes it a fun fight. I'm going to play Grad because when he wins, he scores really well. But I think he'll force Naimov into scoring pretty well, whether that's mixing in takedowns. Grad super hittable, like you said. Naimov live for a KO. I'm fine going Oban Elliott down to Naimov and leaving 700. I prefer Naimov to Park. I look at Naimov, Mullins, Alex Siva, all very similar, though, all with wrestling upside, all with similar inside the distance props. And again, I'm fine living it. I wouldn't be shocked if any of those 3 were the highest scorers on the slate. So I'm fine going any of the Sadikovs, Elliott's, Tagirs, any of them, saving the money and playing them as a way to get different. So definitely a great fight to target. I prefer the Naimov side, though, and I do think a lot of people gravitate toward Grad because of that price tag, because of that big score he put up last time. Speaking of the man, Sadikov, minus 430 taking on Nicholas Mata, minus 250 for this fight to finish. Sadikov, minus 165 inside the distance. Mata, plus 500. Then we're looking at Sadikov in round 1 at plus 180. He is my favorite. He's my favorite in the upper tier, like the top 3: Oban, Tagir, Sadikov. He is my clear favorite there. I think there's wrestling upside. I think he's better than Mata everywhere. Mata, I mean, he has superpowers. Superpowers. The dude can absolutely crack when he lands, but low volume. And if he isn't landing, he's just getting beat up pretty bad. And what Trey Ogden did to him on the mat, I mean, I think Sadikov should take it down and absolutely roll him that way. So what are you seeing in this one?
Yeah, to me, Mata's kind of like what's his name? Sergecki or whatever his name was from a couple weeks ago. Whatever the heck his name was, where he's got that the power in his hands early in the fight, and he could land a shot and put the guy away and score 100+ points. But that's really what he's best at. And if he doesn't do that, he's not good at too much. He's not a good wrestler. He's not a good point fighter on the feet. I think Sadikov is better everywhere in this fight, maybe aside from pure punching power early in the fight. So my plan is to fade the Mata power and go under or just completely fade him, and then probably go underweight to the field on Sadikov if he's going to be popular and leave salary on the table. But I do think Sadikov is one of my most confident picks on the card. That's why I got the 5 and 1 star on this one. I just don't love sharing a bunch of lineups on this card where I am actually okay getting different, where I don't feel that way on a lot of cards.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, Sadikov's my favorite up top, but I do think he is going to get steam. So I'm fine, like we keep saying, dropping down to that high 8K range and getting different that way. All right, we will keep it rolling. Next fight on the card, we have whatever his first name, Oralbai, taking on Tufik Musayev. Minus 157 is Oralbai, plus 137 is Musayev. Minus 150 for this fight to finish. Both guys plus 190. I'm looking at wrestler in Oralbai against striker in Musayev. Musayev making his UFC debut at 35 years old, 8-year age gap. Musayev has taken a good amount of money since Tuesday. I love targeting this fight. Do you have a preferred side? What are you doing?
Yeah, I like this fight. It's one of my favorites to target. My preferred side is going to be Oralbai. I just think he's the more well-rounded fighter, and his edge is going to be on the ground, which is where we could score high in this one. Oralbai could get 8 takedowns in this fight and score 110 plus in a decision, which is always a fighter I'm looking to target. I also think he could win minutes on the feet too. I don't know how good this Musayev guy is. I think he looked pretty good on film, but he's 35 years old, and if this fight wasn't in Baku, he's probably not making his UFC debut, to be honest. So maybe he has a striking edge. Maybe he could knock out Oralbai. He looked like a decent wrestler on the regional scene too. I just have a hard time seeing him be able to wrestle Oralbai, and I don't think he's going to look like that much of a striking edge on the feet against Oralbai either. So I'll probably be around the field just in case on him, but I plan on being over the field on Oralbai. He has one of the highest ceilings on the card, a top 2 to 3 ceiling in my opinion. So Oralbai, but I'll be overweight as a whole to this fight, I think.
I'm in agreement with you. I want to be overweight on this fight. I'm fine making an Oralbai team dropping down to Musayev and leaving 800 with the money line continuing to close and the same inside the distance. Musayev's live for a knockout pretty much any round. Oralbai is hittable, but man, this dude Oralbai will fight for your dollar. He will wrestle for days, and those are the type of fighters I like to back. At the end of the day, if I had 50% Oralbai, 30% Musayev, I'm in. If I had 50% Musayev, 30% Oralbai, I think I'm in as well, as long as I like everything else. So easy answer or cop-out answer, I don't have a strong lean on the side. I do want a lot of this fight, though. And then if you are not playing Rountree Hill in any lineups, I'm almost sure to play this fight right in the same range. I don't like the Ignacio Bahamunde's Fizzy fight as much. If I'm fading the main event, I'm almost surely playing this fight in the mid-tier, then probably going stars and scrubs after it. So really good fight to target. Wrestler in Oralbai taking on the striker in Musayev. All right. 3 fights left. Again, appreciate everyone hanging out. Love how you guys discussing fights in the chat as well. Curtis Blades, minus 235, taking on Rivzan Kunuyev. Say it for me. Kuniev. Kuniev plus 200, minus 150 for this fight to finish. Blades plus 115 inside the distance. Kuniev plus 385. Plus 385. So this fight was supposed to take place, let me get the exact date right, March 8th. This fight was supposed to take place. Curtis Blades pulled out on fight day due to an illness. That line closed at minus 335 when that fight got canceled for Blades. He is now minus 235. That is a whole dollar. We haven't seen any of these dudes fight. Nothing has changed. It's just we got it a couple months later. But Blades is a dollar shorter favorite than he was that day. Just start there. Blades, obviously, everyone, if you don't know, just look at the stone. He's a wrestler for days. Nasty ground and pound. His striking severely underrated. He loses to Aspinall. Who cares? The dude can strike. Good comeback win over Almeida. But man, minus 235 when it was minus 335. Why do you think that is? And what are you doing in this one?
Maybe it's because he pulled out. I also feel like money was coming in on him maybe that week. I could be wrong. But I do remember being heavy on Blades because I heard some interview that made me think he was going to wrestle. And if Blades is going to wrestle, I want to be all over Blades in DFS because he's one of the best heavyweight wrestlers we've seen, and he's very active once he gets it to the ground too. He's got nasty elbows. I feel like if he gets it to the ground, he's probably going to put this guy away with elbows at some point. And he's also a good striker, probably the better striker. If we're turning knockouts off, if this is a video game, we can turn knockouts off. I think Blades wins this fight. But I don't trust him to wrestle always, and I really don't trust his chin. I think Kuniev is live for a first-round knockout, live for a knockout in any round, but he can absolutely break the slate with the first-round knockout, and I think that that's a decent possibility, way more so than Mata. So my plan is to go overweight Blades, as in he's my favorite fighter to target on this card, and then I'll get hedge money on Kuniev. I'll probably make some hand-built Kuniev lineups just to get him in my favorite ones with my favorite guys to target, and hope that this is not a 3-round striking match. But yeah, give me Blades.
Yeah. Was this fight? Maybe it was like announced and then it like didn't even get to fight day. I don't know. I know. Yeah.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is because I didn't even look into it this time. I'm just going off of memory on looking at it 2 times. So my Kuniev fight fades in my memory. Twice?
I don't think they faced off once and like they got that deep. Maybe it was scheduled for another and got pulled out like earlier and something like
probably
that.
Yeah, I think that's
so. You're probably right. It probably is the 3rd time, but these guys legit squared off on Friday the night before and it got canceled on fight day. So. Yeah, it very well might be the 3rd time. But like the UFC's continuing to like make this fight. Like Kuniev has not made his debut. And like debut against Curtis Blades. The UFC has to like this guy. He's taking money on a card I don't like many dogs. And his upside is as much as anyone. Like he knocks out Blades in round 1. Like Blades can't get his wrestling going. This Kuniev guy is dangerous. So I'm definitely going to play a good amount of Kuniev down below. I'm also going to play a good amount of Curtis Blades as well. Yeah, sometimes I look at that. Like, this would be a huge win for Kuniev. It's like the UFC wants him to win at this point. So, interesting line movement. Interesting they're continuing to roll this fight. A lot of interesting parts in it. But Blades a wrestler, Kuniev a striker, and Blades can strike too. It's going to be a fun one. All right, some differences in this last one. Our man Marquis said this Bahamundes fight should be a 4-star. You have it a 3-star. And I responded, heck, I think it maybe should be a 2-star. Ignacio Bahamundes, 8,200, taking on Rafael Fiziev, 8K. Bahamundes minus 130 favorite. Fiziev plus 110 underdog. Plus 135 for this fight to finish. Fiziev plus 265 inside the distance. Bahamundes plus 335. I'll give my quick thoughts on why I do not like the fight and it should be a 2-star. I respect both guys so much. I think there's no wrestling upside on either. If someone does, it's Fiziev. Bahamundes is hard to get taken down. Fiziev strikes. I think so. We're just talking striking. This fight opened plus 100 to finish. It is now plus 135 to finish. That's a lot of money on the over. So this fight minus 165 to finish. I don't see how these guys are optimal if it goes to decision. Bahamundes could land 150 significant strikes and score 84 points. I don't think that outscores Rountree Hill in the mid-tier. I don't think that outscores Oralbai and Musayev in the mid-tier. And like, just give me a stars and scrubs bill. I was gonna screw this fight, so there's not really anyone's. Give me a Nerdy of Park fight. Like, striking in a decision usually does not end well for DFS. If there's a couple knockdowns, of course. But we're looking at almost a coin flip in this one. Now, who's going to win the fight? I don't have a strong lean. Fiziev opened minus 205 and is now the underdog, which is interesting. Bahamundes is on a phenomenal run. Bahamundes is huge for the division. He'll have look at that, 8 inches in height, 4 inches in reach, 5 years younger fighter. Again, you're parlaying, getting the fight right, and it's scoring enough to be optimal. I just don't want to worry about it. I'll cap both guys. Again, they're going to be pretty low owned. I'll use them in chalkier lineups. I don't want to leave much money with them. I don't know who wins, and I think it goes to decision, and the books do too, and I don't think there's wrestling. So for all those reasons, I don't like this fight. I will be underweight. Yes, like boring decision. Now, I think this could be a fine real-life fight. Both guys are so skilled. It could be fun. But, yeah, I mean, I think both guys are good enough where they don't get knocked out, and it does go to decision, and it does score poorly. So it's a no for me. What are you doing in this one?
I'm probably going to be Bahamondes or pass in this one. I think Fiziev's only real DFS upside would be a knockout. And I'm so impressed with Bahamondes. I love his pace that he strikes at, and he's got real skills on the feet too. And I think he is a possible title contender or title holder one day. So I'm going to take Bahamondes as my pick in the fight, and I don't want to play both sides of this one. So I'm just going to be Bahamondes or pass just to make less lineups. If I was making 150, I would play a little bit of both sides, but I'm not doing 150 on this card. I'm trying to get closer to 20. And for me to do that, I'm probably going to have to fade Fiziev completely. I'm not going to get too much Bahamondes, but in lineups that he fits, I mean, I'd rather have like him over an Usman, but at the same time, I'm okay taking Usman over Bahamondes to try and take a solo shot.
I preferred Fiziev if I had to pick slightly, and it was mainly due to the inside the distance in round one props. Fiziev plus 265 to finish, Bahamondes plus 335, Fiziev in round one plus 475, Bahamondes plus 650. And again, I think we need a finish in this fight to have the best chance at optimal. I just want to take the guy with a more likely chance to finish according to the books, and he's a $200 cheaper. So just for that reason, but it's no strong lean. And again, who's going to win? Flip a coin. Is it going to be optimal? You're flipping multiple coins after trying to get it right. Just too many things. I wouldn't play this fight in single entry. It's an MME fight to get different, but it's not my favorite way to go about this card. All right, main event time. What a fight we have here. What a fights. Jamal Hill, Khalil Rountree. We had it on Tuesday when I did these odds. Minus 134 was Rountree. It's open minus 135 Rountree. On May 15th, it got as low for Rountree as it's got at minus 170. And slowly but surely, money's been coming in, especially this week. We have a straight pick 'em on Bet Online right now, minus 110 apiece. I will say I'm seeing minus 130 on DraftKings, plus 110, or minus 130 Rountree, plus 110 for Hill on DK. Always price shop. Whatever, if you're a sports bettor, like you have to price shop. So the way to make it, but especially MMA, like you can arb this minus 110, plus 110. Actually, that's not quite an arb spot, but those do happen sometimes in MMA. Hill's taking a bunch of money. Both of these guys lost to Alex Pereira. Jamal didn't look good against Yuri. Khalil was on a good little run, but man, he wasn't really beating anyone that good. So I'll let you talk. Most people watching probably know I'm a sweet dream slappy. It hasn't been great for me as of late. So talk to me without any bias in this one.
I mean, I probably got some bias too. I feel like I'm pot committed to Hill at this point.
Me too.
So I will be overweight on the Hill side for sure. But the first round, if this fight's going to end in the first round, I think it's a higher chance Rountree. I think he is more powerful, maybe more durable. But I just think Hill's the better striker, and he's also the higher volume striker. And if anyone's going to score well in a decision here, it's going to be Hill. I think the way this fight doesn't make the optimal would be if Rountree wins a decision. And that would probably come from Hill just being too tentative, not throwing the normal volume, or possibly a bad decision, which we've never seen before in the UFC. But I'll be underweight to Rountree, but I'll still be close to all in on the fight. I'll probably be like 85, 90% on the fight, but I see me having 60% Hill, maybe 65% Hill, and then whatever that puts me at on the Rountree side. But this is the one fight I do want to load up on, take shots on both sides, take my couple favorite Rountree lineups and put Hill in instead and leave that salary there. But Hill is my pick to win. I think he has 100-point upside in a decision here if we can see the usual volume that we had in the past. And Rountree, aside from his knockout power, he's never a great minute winner in UFC fights. And even against poor competition, he hasn't been a good minute winner in the past. So I'm going to be heavy on Hill here. He's my second favorite fighter behind Blades.
Yeah, Jamal's my favorite fighter on the card. Again, I'm biased a little bit. This is a live. The reason I'm not betting Jamal pre-fight, and I think it's a great live betting spot, is I have one big concern. If Jamal doesn't do anything about the leg kicks from Rountree, I think he's in trouble. And they're very well, he might not. He does switch stances fine, but Rountree, nasty kicks, teep kicks, body kicks, leg kicks. I'm worried if Jamal doesn't check him, his distance management, his power, as you guys see with a lot of fights, once the leg's gone, GG. Unless you're, oh gosh, this gives me nightmares still. Unless you're Yuri Prohashka against, who's Rakic. Oh, I lost so much money. Kept live betting Rakic. He was blowing up the Yuri legs, and he's the one dude, I guess it doesn't matter. But more times than not, once that leg's toast, you just can't do anything. You have to switch stances. You can't drive off of it, anything. I'm worried about that early. If Rountree doesn't go to him early, or Hill has a good answer, I think at distance, Jamal, the jab, the boxing, I just think it's all Jamal. The volume, Rountree won't be able to catch up. Sure, he can land the big shot, but once Jamal gets in his rhythm, which, again, it's a lot easier. Like, Yuri would beat Rountree, in my opinion. Pereira did beat him. If Jamal can get it going and stuff the leg kicks, or at least check them or do something about them, I just think he just keeps snowballing each round. The volume keeps wearing up. The nose is busted. And then he finally finds the kill shot. So I'm on Sweet Dreams. Been on Sweet Dreams a lot. You're talking pot committed, right up my alley. I am definitely pot committed on this guy. I will have more Hill than Rountree. I'm totally fine building a Rountree team, take out Rountree, play Jamal Hill, leave 600 plus. That is also a way I will be looking to get different. Should be a fun fight, though. Should be a fun fight. If you get this fight 3 years ago, Jamal Hill's minus 250, which is the crazy part in the sport that we play. But yeah, a couple brutal knockouts. Now you're looking at a pick 'em. I am sad, though, Hill's taking money. Like, I was on Hill the whole time. I was hoping it was going to be plus 130, something like that. So Rountree would be higher owned. I don't like seeing minus 110. But I'm still playing more of the Hill side. I'm going to go with my I know fights and being able to leave money and go that way. Any final thoughts for you on this card? This should be a solid one.
Yeah, I don't have any bets yet, but Hill at plus money was my favorite that I was looking at, and I missed it. Not against it at any plus money, so maybe it'll happen. But yeah, hopefully it's just a good DFS card, and I think that this could be one where somebody does take it down solo. Hopefully it's me or you. Good luck to you, Title. Good luck to everybody listening. Let's ship it.
Yeah, hopefully it's somebody in this chat. Again, remember, 12 p.m. Eastern time is the fight. 9 a.m. my time. If you got to set an alarm, get stuff in the night before. All of our content, projections, ownership will be up tomorrow like usual. And again, if you're not a member, we would love to have you. SaberSim, projections, ownership for all sports, the Stone, the Slate plan for all sports, and the best Discord around, usually $99. Use the code UFC75. Gets you it for $24, less than $1 a day. I will be headed over right now using our content, NBA Showdown Slate plan. See what my man Rio has to think. I'll be cheering on the Pacers with Big Marley below, hoping for a Game 7, one more chance to win some cheese. Appreciate everyone hanging out, whether you're watching live, watching on playback. If you have any hot takes, excited to see it in the YouTube comment section. Again, like button helps us out a ton. Let's make some money this week. Enjoy some early violence. For my man, Big Marley, I'm Titletown. Good luck. Be safe. Enjoy the weekend. Peace.